This video is about being born again. What is taught by the Roman Church and its breakaway denominations is nothing at all like what really takes place in being born again. From the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 24, verse 5, quote, "For many shall come in my name, saying I am Christ, and shall deceive many." In other words, the many are the churches, claiming that Jesus is Christ, and are deceiving many. So how are the churches deceiving others? By claiming Jesus, the flesh, is the Christ, instead of the man-child, referred to in biblical writings as the Son of Man. Why they do this, is because they only know the human body and its environment, knowing nothing at all about life, the real self, let alone knowing anything about the soul, or what it means to be reborn. From the Gospel according to John, in chapter 3, verses 3 to 7, quote, "Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Nicodemus saith unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb, and be born? Jesus answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water, and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God." Here is confusion introduced by the scribes, involving the Adam species, and man, which is the title for the soul, and not the Adam species. The Adam species stole the title of the soul, which is man, and replaced the title of the flesh, which is Adam, to man, which is the title for the soul. The soul has an inner and an outer. The man refers to the inner, or contents of the soul, while the woman refers to the outer, which is the shape of the soul. Continuing with the Gospel according to John, that which is born of the flesh, is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit, is spirit. Marvel not, that I said unto thee, Ye must be born again. The original definition of the word, spirit, was a complete description, or a full record, of anything. Regarding what is reborn, involves the soul, and life, the real self. It is not just believing that you are reborn. From John's preaching of the Gospel, the Acts of John, 87 to 105, in chapter 96, verse 45, quote, "I will that there be prepared holy souls for me," end quote. So here is what I experienced, being born again, not by the will of the flesh, but by the will of God. It was in 1995, I was sitting in our lounge, just relaxing, looking out through a large ranch slider, at a landscape, when suddenly, a large disc appeared in front of me, which nearly filled my whole field of vision, as shown in this drawing. A dark-skinned warrior appeared in the large lower right yellow octagon, saying, "Behold thy mother the bride." Then he said, "Enter," while turning and pointing into the center of the disc. I, life, the real self, not the human body, entered my true mother's soul. And what I saw was like looking down on a city from above, having like skyscrapers, reaching out from eternity, with streets at multiple levels, and little balls of light, with different colored edges, traveling along the streets, as though abiding by the rules of the road, regarding the left-hand rule, and entering the buildings on multiple levels. I saw what appeared like lifts, or elevators, in the corners of each of the buildings, which carried these little balls of light to other levels. I continued to travel deeper and deeper into my true mother's soul, and then came to a stop, deep within her soul. I could see back to where I entered my true mother's soul, and in the opposite direction, into infinity. At this level, much activity was taking place, involving these little balls of light, obviously involving processing. I later came to know, the name of the soul, was Barbelo, which Gnostic beliefs claim to be the Mother-Father. I understood that every soul is a clone of Barbelo, the mother of all, and the Father was within her, being a single entity, hence the Mother-Father. The white light or life is the only begotten of the Father, moving within, involving the processing network of the Mother-Father. This is why Jesus said, recorded in the Gospel according to Matthew, in chapter 22, verses 29 to 32, quote, Jesus answered, and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the Scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection, they neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God, in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read, that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. End quote. Hence the Mother-Father, being one, just as anything that exists, whether conceptual or otherwise, has both an inner and an outer together, as one.